Good morning. This is Don the window cleaner here, and I thought I would pass along some home buying advice to this generation that seems like they just can't catch a break. They're having a hard time buying a home at this time. Now, I don't know what all the conditions are on the ground, but let me tell you what happened in 1982. We were in a recession. Interest rates, I think, were like 10% or something horrific like that. At that time, I had started a window cleaning business. I was literally riding my motorcycle in and out of town with a squeegee and a bucket on the back of my motorcycle. I started that business for next to nothing because I was out of work. Well, anyhow, we bought a house. you know, how in the world that happened? Well, it was one of those things about owner financing. In fact, we bought a couple of houses that way, where somebody owned a house and they were having a hard time selling it, but they would hold the note. They would be the mortgage holder. Didn't have to go through a bank. Didn't have to pay a whole lot of fees. We bought the house and worked on it some, and then later on able to sell it. Several times we sold houses that we had bought that were highly leveraged, but when we sold them, we made a pile of money and were able to sell off, pay off all of our consumer debt. And we did these kind of things because we had faith. Not just that we had faith in God, but that attitude of believing carries on into the kind of things you try to do. You are a little bolder in your attempts when you have faith in God. It's not that God's a genie and you rub a lamp and, make a wish, but, faith without works is dead. And there is a part we have to do and a part that God does. And being able to buy a home, we really credit him for making sure that we can catch a break. But we paid for our houses, and I was doing it as a self-employed window cleaner. Surely you can buy a home too, and I wish you all the best.